En dan eraan. En dan? Ja. We moeten zoveel spanning hebben.
Charlotte's house actually was a picture perfect film location because one, ground level, we have access to the windows outside, and the other thing is just that there's a lot of contrast in our house. There's a lot of black, there's white. It's not just a white walled location where there's no color, no depth, no contrast. I think the location spoke really well to, it being technically Steven's house, with Elle's atelier on the side. I think they did a great job, and the production design and actually transforming that entire room into an art studio, which looked insane.
At Elle's atelier, we wanted to decorate the walls and space with purpose to reflect the inner world that Elle was dealing with. We based ourselves on the lack of life, and we were drawn the rather dry elements. For example, I decorated one wall with 2 banana leaves, and when we placed a light near them, you got a play of shadow and depth that you also find in the story of Mind of Thoughts. This was a great foundation for us to transform along with Elle and join her inner arc.
The first time I entered the location, I thought, oh wow, who's painting here? Because for me, it was like, I didn't know it was a set. I just believed this was somebody in the house, is an artist. This is so well done. I thought she lives here, like this is a real location. All honor to the mama. She sees every detail, that's the point.
So I started a search for props online, also in local thrift store, asking our neighbors. We were allowed to use the items of our local art academy, De Maak, in Knokke-Heest, where Glenn took Romy, Louise and I from studio to studio, from attic to basement. It was intense but very exciting. I was so grateful to have Romy and Louise in the art team. It was such a great collaboration, both on set and in prep. And together we literally moved mountains.
It must have been very overwhelming to see your house change like that. But I think if you approach it as, okay, now my house is a film set and I take a step back and I let that go and I let things happen, which Charlotte and Christophe and Inge did very well.
I think shooting at someone's own place is always an advantage for location departments, because the person in charge is always there.
So the second day of shooting was the first day for dialogue for me. The first day was with Steven, and we had some more intense dialogue as far as creating character depth. So creating a background for Elle, creating a background for her partner, creating a background for what her life is in the story. And again, this is a short film, so within 15 minutes you have to convey all these things that you would a 2.5-hour movie. And the script that Charlotte made it easy and accessible for someone to have a little bit relation with this character.
For me, the favorite scene is the scene in the atelier of Brienne, where we have a fight. That scene felt so natural for me to play. When we ended the scene, Charlotte screamed, "Pop the champagne!" So, and she came to me. I was almost crying with her, or I was crying, I don't know, and I felt very good about that scene, yeah.
Here we go. Sound roll, please. We're gonna have sound rolls.
Exploring the relationship between Elle and Steven was a very captivating journey. There is an undeniable tension. You can feel that something is not quite right, but confronting it without hurting the other person feels nearly impossible. And I feel that their connection is layered in love, yet overshadowed by this multitude of unspoken words and unresolved feelings. And we tried to weave this complexity through the various scenes in the film, enriching their dynamic. And I hope that the audience feels the struggle of their relationship.
Full crew, full set. Many people were behind camera, that it was just me on the camera. And The best part about filming with Charlotte was I trusted her. I trusted whatever Charlotte saw on that screen. And when she said cut, and when she said that take is a wrap, I knew that she was only gonna choose and make sure that that was the best cut.
Cut.
Good.
Charlotte made me at ease. She was very supportive. She gave me good advice, and I felt immediately very comfortable.
I've always been very fascinated by the process of establishing deep connections between characters and uncovering their unique dynamics. And collaborating with Brienne and Wytze was, it was such a joy as we explored these nuances, like refining our ideas by adding and then removing certain elements just to capture that unique and special spark between them. And I feel that the exchange of ideas between all of us truly enriched the creative process.
Every evening after we wrapped up the scenes of that day, Charlotte and I got together and we went through the script for the next day. And we looked at all the scenes, thinking like, what are the details we need to watch? Can we make improvements in our dialogue? How can we make sure that our actors really step up? Do we have every point of view that we need with the camera? And it was really nice to be that prepared for the scenes and for the next day. So you would arrive each morning thinking like, yes, we can handle this.
Njole, my partner in crime. Having her as my script supervisor on set was just an absolute blessing. Her keen eye for detail and precision just never ceased to amaze me, and I'm so grateful to have found such a kindred spirit who not only shares my sense of humor but also shares the same level of dedication, and just working alongside her was it just made the experience even more rewarding.
It felt like we have been working together for 10 years or something, 10 years plus. Like everyone was also thinking like, oh, they have done a lot of projects together, but it was actually the first project together.
Will it work in this small place?
It's always gonna work.
Okay.
It's always gonna work. Even when it doesn't work, it works somehow. Figure it out.
I don't know how I hold this, but I it's Verminck, it's not really beautiful for seeing. So I'm thinking we take a shot from the train. Oh, sorry about that. Because you're looking? Yeah. And then you look back here and then here. Yeah?
Yeah, probably just not like here. Here? We come inside.
Yeah.
Anyway. Nice. Yeah. You got that, huh? Mm-hmm. So probably walk around here, here. I would say that's
Who I am?
Yeah,
I'm the devil. I'm the devil. I came straight from hell.
but I think the light over there is always right.
Everyone in position, sound roll please.
Shooting in Charlotte's family's kitchen as Elle's own home was actually perfect for me because we did our rehearsals in this kitchen before we even knew that there was a possibility to shoot the scenes between me and Steven, Elle's partner, in the very table like we're standing at right now. And presenting the lines is already hard enough to convey feeling. So when you're already comfortable in a place that's supposed to be your home, and movement and blocking already felt very natural. With Stephen and Elle, they could sit at their own table. They could have a discussion that any couple could have at their dinner table. And moving around the space made it seem like it wasn't acting anymore. And I'm very grateful for Charlotte's family for hosting and allowing us to use their kitchen and allowing their whole home to be turned into a movie set. I'm very grateful for it because it allowed us to, as actors, have one less space to have to adjust to or have to worry about.
The house matches perfect Stephen. It's a modern house. It's a really beautiful house. So for me, it was perfect and it felt really good to shoot in this house, yeah.
You know, something that I'm not accustomed to in the United States is those types of blinds where you can open and close them and it's blackout. Then you could have a certain amount of light come in. And even though they are here in America, it's not very common that you see them very often anymore. So having those all over the house saved us a tremendous amount of time in having to rig, you know, big negatives or big bounces, or depending on how we wanted to control the light, all we had to do really is just adjust the blinds. So that in and of itself made the production go way faster in her house.
When the shooting was done and my part in the movie was wrapped, I felt very great actually, and also a lot of weight off my shoulders. Also I felt some pressure for myself because it's a professional project and I don't want to let Charlotte down. So I was very happy that everything went well.
Charlotte?
Yes.
Ja, en Art gaan jullie ook bij de monitor zitten. Het kader wordt nu gemaakt.
Oké.
En dan kunnen we kijken.
Oké.
Dan kunnen we dat wel zo
mee,
doen. Ja.
En die andere nog.
En zal ik aardig gaan houden?
Ja.
Ja. Zo een beetje textuur. Zo. Ja.
Met zeef.
Ja, met een zeefje. Maar doe dat toch direct over uw...
De vacuüm.
Jullie hebben dat in Amerika?
What, vacuums?
Yeah.
They do. I don't know what that is though. I have no idea what it is.
Ja, wat is het troebeleid en is het... Ik vind dat wel
What is it?
Omdat Carlo, she wants that.
Ah.
Geweest. Ja, goed, dat is echt nice. Dat is ding dan.
Niet filmen, wel los.
Ja.
Ja.
What do you think about this?
What do I think about what?
About this, the milkshake?
I think it's gonna work.
Okay, silence on set, please. Here we are. We are getting in position.
Sound roll, please. Tail slate. And 1, 2, 3, action.
I was incredibly thrilled on how our first day went, and I just enjoy collaborating with dedicated individuals, and even our chef was no exception. Yeah, one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned working on various film sets is that the food is very essential, not only as a necessity, but also as a gesture of respect towards the crew. And as a producer, I was very determined to elevate this aspect and seeking someone who shared my commitment to quality and who also used pure and healthy ingredients. And that's when I discovered the incredible talent and the blessing of Gilles.
I feel like Charlotte made the perfect choice for catering because it was so healthy And it really helped us to give us our all.
The food, it was so good. We could choose up out of like 3 meals each day almost. And then even after we had our full dinner, and it was, I don't know, it's just so, it tasted so good. We also got like strawberries covered in chocolate. Or like fresh baked cookies. Each day there was like a dessert.
What? I never experienced that. It's like a delicatessen, like unseen on a set. I told her every day that I was so impressed what she was doing because it's really made with love, with heart and soul.
The food on set was the best food I've ever had on set. I'll just leave that there. I even remember we had vegan pesto or vegetarian pesto one day. And I was like, oh, this is the freshest pesto, like even more than in Italy this is made. She's like, yes, they're just herbs from my garden. And I was like, oh.
Technical rehearsal in 1, 2, 3.
We had a lot of dance scenes and not that much time.
I was kind of nervous how that was going to go.
The challenge for us was just to be able to light it in the fact of just having no stands.
Their makeup was also like a little more challenging because they sweat when they dance.
There was a lot of movement and being thrown around.
Doing this choreography over and over and over again.
People were really, we want this to be good, and that's beautiful to see.
We prepped it, we did it, we worked it out, it was shot, it was done. It was crazy.